Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Void, where we're not going to get beat up by space bikers, and instead, we're just going to be space people and do space
Like,
things.
I'm insulted.
What?
Do you really think the best I can come up with is space bikers?
Yes?
She's gonna kill
Some
us.
fighting words. Why are you doing this?
Draw another icon card. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what answer gets me in more or less trouble. And I don't know which one I want. So yes, for space bikers, please don't bring the biker mice from Mars into this game. That being said, if you guys want to support all the fun that we do here, please go check out our Patreon. If you want to join the conversation and post pictures and yell at me in Discord, you can do that by joining our Discord. And most importantly of the night, if you see that bar in the bottom right-hand corner, the corruption bar, that bar serves two purposes. One is that when it fills, Little Red Dot gets to do whatever the hell she wants to us, but more importantly, every dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful players here. So if you want to help pay the cast, do so by dropping a coin to your streamer. That being said, we're going to jump in the game and completely ignore whatever is on Gnome's head. Dot, take us into the world of Coriolis.
Oh, we have yeeted our way into episode 2
I hate it.
of The Voice.
These are my friends. These are my friends. That's what I had to tell myself. Twin mantra. They're friends.
Can we get some yeets in chat from Mike?
No, we can't. Stop.
All the yeet.
Please.
Come on, chat.
Every yeet.
Can we get just a couple yeets?
I don't want this.
So,
Game canceled.
you know, oh, and you know what? I'll remind everybody what our donations last week ended up doing, a little consequences.
Nothing. Fun time.
I love you, chat. Okay, so last week, we got to meet this amazing crew, and we stepped into the world of the Third Horizon, a place inspired by what I like to consider Arabian Nights in space, as well as the book. That's how they describe it, and is in a bit of an interesting flux right now. A period of peace has come to an abrupt end by the finding of a new species on the planet of Xene, known as the Ghost of Xene. And more importantly, there have been some very odd things arising in the Third Horizon, which is a collection of 36 stars. Now, we kicked off in at the station of Coriolis, which is the largest station in the Third Horizon. Here we met this crew of folks, which I'll let them. Well, no, I'll narrate us through, and then we'll pop in, and I'll let you guys introduce yourself while we're chatting in character. Sul, also known as Polaris, was given a new contract by his father under the promise that he would be out of service to a specific group of people known as the Syndicate for completion of the mission labeled Rescue Mission. That was basically the gift. In addition, he was required to work with another syndicate member, Malik, who is a data djinn. And after some strange altercations with children, they ended up bumping into, I'm going to say strange altercations because they were strange. They ended up bumping into Malik's brother, Tamir, who is an engineer and scientist currently in an internship aboard Tao's vessel, freighter, science freighter. What did we call that ship? It's got a cute name. I can't believe I forgot it.
The Defiant.
The Defiant.
Yes.
That's right, the Defiant.
You were faster than me.
The cutest.
Yeah,
name.
the cutest name. It is a cute name for a ship. And they managed to negotiate a price to hire Tal and her vessel to be their ship to complete the mission. The mission is simple. Communication has been lost with the system known as Taoan, at least for the last 2 weeks. They are to portal hop from their current location in Kua over to what did I call it? Hamura. Hamura. And from there, they are to finish the journey to the Taoan system. Everybody is unsure as to what's going on, and the dossier seems a bit vague. After gathering the necessary supplies, the ship is prepped. All of you completed some business here and there. It would be known that while things were being done on the docks, Polaris went to visit a friend, we'll say, left for a period of time and then came promptly back. And more importantly, the donation given by chat triggered a series of events last episode, one of which was in tandem with a tattoo artist, we'll call him. A bit gruff and rough around the edges. Unfortunately, the incident with the children just happened to be his. And for not beating their asses, basically, in the middle of this spaceport, he told Polaris that he could do him a favor. Assassinate a high-end guild member for the Free Traders faction. Polaris chose to politely ignore the offer, as it needed to be done quickly and efficiently before ever leaving. Polaris decided that it was not worth his time. And instead, the four of you have boarded and have left the net of Coriolis, the massive docking station where literally these huge cranes come out and grab hold of your ship and move you down through a series of conveyor belts to basically get you into Coriolis. And this time they move you out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your ship, Tal? What does the inside look like as everybody kind of finds their way aboard?
Well, the inside's relatively clean. My parents weren't really one for decorations, so everything was kept pretty standard to how it was made. Lots of white walls with metallic trimmings. Everything's pretty neatly organized. Though, you know, Tal isn't exactly the cleanest person, so there's some junk here and there scattered throughout. But for the most part, everything's kept in pretty good order.
The vessel it's a freighter, so it's got a pretty decent cargo hold, right? And there
Yes.
are some bunk chambers for each of you. Correct? We had enough space for everyone.
Yes, there are. I don't have my glasses on.
I was about to say I got our ship sheet right in front of me. What am I asking you for?
Well, I have the ship sheet. It's just I don't have my glasses.
Girl, I know that feeling. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so aboard we definitely have plenty of standard cabins for everyone. We'll say that there are 2 per, so you'll need to bunk together. Tamir's probably already claimed one. And there would be more, of course. Let's see. There's a med lab, the stasis hold, which is necessary for faster than light travel through these portals. A service station, a decent cargo hold, a docking station so that they can dock in space. Seems to be on the outside as all of you come up. There have been some weapon upgrades to this science freighter. That should be kind of noted. On the interior, there's also a salvage station connected to a workshop. And it's also noted that this freighter has added escape pods to the outside.
As you come in, Tal will greet you at the entrance and kind of give you a tour around everywhere. And as I'm walking around, I'll be like, and for the record, if you are associated with any faction, I don't want to know about it. Don't go near my bunk or else I will put you out the air hatch myself. And clean up after yourself. Not your maid.
Fair enough. So I'll just kind of like waiting to see if anyone else. Okay.
How soon can we take off?
Oh, well, everything's just about ready. So now that you're here, we'll get started.
Great.
Phenomenal.
Great. Great.
All right. And then
Nobody's
I will.
nervous.
And you see Malik is looking for some kind of like port to look out of. And he's
I'm sure there's a couple porthole windows.
yeah, and
right?
he's just watching.
Oh yeah.
He's not like glued in like a kid in the candy shop, but he's just standing next to the window, like.
So if we enter the ship,
there's a larger viewing area if you want to go up on deck.
Oh yeah, to see the view.
Yeah.
Right.
And he scurries up towards the deck.
And you scurry up and leaving, I'm guessing all three of you board, leaving Tal at the door, pressing the final button as that you hear the hydraulics and hatch. And as you peer out of the ever decreasing crevice onto the docks, you see the woman, the priestess that you met in at the cantina. She places her hand on your ship. She closes her eyes and she says a small prayer as she disappears in an airtight seal, praying on your ship.
Just before the seal closes, I say, "Thank you, my friend."
Of course, nothing breaks her prayer, but you're sure she probably heard you.
Yeah.
And things are ready. It takes about 20 or 30 minutes for the net to move your vessel into line to be released from Coriolis. If you are portal traveling, there'll be some things that need to be done. Most importantly, you actually have to log and put the coordinates in correctly. The technology for travel through the portals is really not that well known. And we hit a corruption goal just in time for the jump.
Fuck.
Lovely. That's exactly what we needed.
I want to
Thank
say
you.
thank you, but also
And our ship explodes.
Thank you. This is perfect.
Thank you.
remember
This
when
is
I said,
so
brother,
perfect.
how we docked and then we undocked and then we docked again.
Yeah,
This might be why.
I see that, but we have to undock and then,
Remain undocked.
yeah, for an extended period of time.
As we are sitting in line, I am in the chapel praying. Tamir has instructions to get me if needed.
So you're not like with the group of people like the rest of us, right?
No, I will be praying as we're waiting, but Tamir knows. We've
Yeah,
gone
I
on
feel
a
like
couple.
like Tal is just doing, you're just doing your own thing, and Tamir is literally just like prepping everything,
Would it be
every
known?
checklist.
So I remember last time. Did you
She's-
say that people basically pray before they leave?
The
She's
vessel does
in
have a
the
chapel.
Okay.
She's in the chapel praying to her icon as the vessel is waiting in line. And
I think Saul would
she
also
will come
be
out
like.
when it's time to.
I think Saul would be like leaning against the wall, just kind of like with his eyes closed, kind of like doing a silent prayer for himself as well.
In the silence of your prayer, you hear via the intercom, and I've lost the name of the ship again. This is what I get for not having my bit.
Defiant.
Defiant. I want to call. Okay, I don't want to call it Defiance. The Defiant. There is no S. You hear a voice come over the comm. Defiant, cleared for takeoff. Please enter your stasis pods. I repeat, T-minus 5 minutes to launch. Please enter your stasis pods.
Malik looks to Tamir and goes,
Let's go.
see?
I get off my knees, brush myself off, do one more sign to the traveler, and gather everyone into the stasis pods, making sure everybody's gotten in them correctly and nothing
There
looks
is-
wrong with anything.
A chamber here with 16 pods, also known as coffins, as they are called in Coriolis. They have a clear front. They're basically like a mini version of the capsule that Mr. Freeze keeps his wife in. So they have a glass front that like off to the side. They're cylindrical and they line the walls of a circular chamber. You can claim any one that you'd like. They all seem to be functioning.
Malik, do you want me to tuck you in?
You know what? If you could, it'd be great. Can I borrow actually one of your stuffed animals? Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Look,
here, come here.
we
Let
don't
me
have
show
time
you
for
to
this.
you.
Get in, boys.
T-minus 3 minutes to take off. Please enter your stasis pods.
Saul just ignores what's
Good.
happening and just walks into an empty pod that's kind of like further away a little bit. Since there is 16, he's just gonna go like a little bit further away and just like.
I will go ahead and get in my pod because if they're not in theirs, then there's nothing I can do.
The autopilot gets
Savage.
set basically for you and the pod, and being the last one in Tau, you guys watch as each of you are sealed in, a thud of an airtight seal, and before you know it, you quickly fall asleep into a deep, deep darkness. The last thing that you hear is T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Fuck.
And as Soul tries to stay awake, you can't help it. Gas fills the chamber and you quickly go to sleep. Now, I need a pilot check from Tao, who set the course that was given to you. Now, there are checks that you can make when making portal jumps, which is going to be your pilot roll, but you're going to get some bonuses because you prayed.
Yay.
And I believe there was another reason you got a benefit. I wrote this one down because I wanted to make sure of it. And in fact, you did too. So you're going to get a +2 regardless of what you roll.
Our first jump.
Okay, I don't know how to add the 2 to it, but
Okay, I got
limited
you.
success without it.
Limited success, which is good.
Damn, your rolls are
Go
insane.
ahead and roll 2 more d6 for me.
Okay.
Because that's pretty
Crit,
doggone good.
Crit.
Okay, perfect. So 2 is a limited success. That's plenty. This was charted for you. Eric, Tal, your pod is the first one to open because you are the pilot. You'll be awakened first. Many people actually in jumps, the pilots will wait until they actually arrive at the destination before ever waking anybody else, sometimes weeks later after making it through the portal. How many times has Tal made a portal jump?
Probably a few. I'd say on her own, either with Tamir or without, like with another crew, probably say 5, maybe 6 total.
Okay.
In her life, that's a lot.
Yeah.
She lived on a ship. They went exploring a lot, so they did a lot of portal jumps.
Okay. So as a child, you probably did a lot more, and for good reason. Maybe over time, you do less and less of them. Staying near Coriolis, your main docking station, is part of survival. But you make the jump. You know that feeling as clean air, oxygen comes rushing back into your lungs, the sleep wears off, and you immediately feel nauseous. As the lights in the chamber turn to let you know that everything's activated. It's not a emergency light by any means, but what does strike you, and it's a good thing you buckled yourself in, because the ship, as it comes to lunges, everything rattles and shakes as if it has been hit by something.
Shit.
The other 3 are not awake yet. You must release them.
I will go ahead and click the button to release each one and just kind of like leave them to it and immediately run to see what's going on where we are, like get my bearings and what.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll. This is going to be an agility because the ship is like actively shaking as you're trying to get across the chamber and hit the button for each of them. So you can make, if you have something to add to it, I'm not sure your character, what your character has. Let's see. You might have maybe just a flat dex. I think this is probably, you could take dexterity, with your agility for sure. As you're like, you're kind of dodging the rustling of the ship as it has come out of the jump. Okay. You still good. I mean, it's not a terrible task to hit a big red button on each side of their thing, and you stumble as you catch yourself a few times, and you hit the second one just in time to hit the third one. As you hit that button, something large crashes into your ship. The lights go from yellow to red.
Great.
The 3 of you wake up to red flashing lights spinning in the center of this circular chamber, and Tao, your captain, is, I'm guessing, bolting for the pit, the cargo pit, or the pilot's seat.
Yeah. As I run, I say, "We just hit something, or something hit us. Oh, you're gonna be fine. Let's go."
All of you make as soon as you unbuckle yourself, all of you will also make agility or dexterity checks.
That is the least assuring.
Agility or dexterity. Also, I can do dexterity if I have.
If you have points in it, and on the sheet, you can hit that instead. Great. How many times have you two done a proper portal jump?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I've done one apparently.
We've had to do one. We've had to do 2 at least to get to Coriolis from Algol.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true. So we've done them
we've
at
had
least that many times.
All right.
Yes.
Do you
Amir
only
has
work in
also
the
probably
Kua?
done at least 1 or 2 with me too.
Yeah. Sul, do you only stay in the Kua region within Coriolis to do your job?
I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like
Okay.
I would be forced to go out of world, but
Okay. All right.
Sol really doesn't like portal jumps.
So again, the rush of clean oxygen just in time for your stomach to knot up as if you're gonna hurl. All of you obviously keep it down. You've done this before. You knew that was coming. What you didn't know was coming was the fact that you needed to not unbuckle your seatbelt. 2 of you fall face first out of that is, who is that? Polaris. And Tamir, you both kind of basically, as you unbuckle yourself, the ship takes another judder and you are unable to catch yourself. Both of you fall to the floor, that kind of wiggle jiggle in your knees of sleeping the wrong way, blood flow possibly cut off. But Malik, you managed to catch yourself coming out on, basically there's like a circular bar in the middle. You kind of are able to catch yourself as you fall forward. Something is definitely wrong and is either attacking or pummeling the ship.
In this, like in the pod bay, is there like computers, like access computers, like terminals to the rest of the ship?
I would think so. This is a science vessel, so like the med lab would have a computer that's connected. It would not be the navigation system necessarily, but there would be some kind of communications comm along with general computer system.
Okay, yeah, something that'll be like finalized autopilot kind of thing, right? I think Malik grabs on and looks at everybody, and then kind of like looks at Tamir and like gives him one of those, and then he pulls himself over, and I'm gonna immediately try to swipe onto this computer and see if I can get like a systems report on this thing, and see what kind of damage is happening to the ship and where.
Okay, go ahead. So you can roll that data gen roll. Let's pop back over to Tao. Tao, it judders. Something else kind of small smacks into the side of it just as you reach the cockpit. The entire HUD deck is lit up. Things are flashing and going off. Stuff swirling as if there are things that need to be handled. So I'm guessing you take a seat.
Yep, I immediately start working on whatever seems most urgent and going from there.
You take a look at basically the radar, just like you would imagine like a submarine would have. Things are blipping. There seem to be, it almost reads like an asteroid field, but there is no asteroid field out the other side of this portal. You know that. You've been here possibly before. There's no way that any of these portals that connect the third horizon would be built inside of an asteroid field. It's far too dangerous. It's supposed to be clear sailing. So whatever you've come out in, possibly even debris.
Cool.
I'm also going to have you roll. Do you have any kind of data gen there, Tal?
I do.
I'm going to have you roll one as you look at some things too, and then I'm going to have Malik roll from the other comm, or the other one.
Oh, that's a failure.
Okay. Yeah, you're just trying to keep the ship on course, because here's the thing. Immediately as the map comes up, you realize that the portal, as all portals in the third horizon, orbit star systems. What we do know about them says that they function around the gravitational pull and the radiation of dying stars. So getting off course and something knocking you off course is bad, especially coming fresh out of a portal. You have to stay on track, because your next destination has to be to check in at the space station that manages the 2 portals. And you see that these things bumping into you are slowly driving the vessel, and it's beginning to bump it. So your piloting skills are now needed more than your data gen. So I'm going to have you roll another pilot. Malik.
I rolled 2 successes.
Fantastic. You click away. You see this too. There is some kind of debris literally littering the path coming out of the portal, which is strange. It's floating all around you. As you do a scan, that's high enough to recognize these seem to be pieces of a ship and parts of ships. You can even look through a portal and something tanks into it.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know how it works on a ship because I'm not an actual astronaut. Do I have sensor operator controls, or do I need to get those from the pilot? I would assume that Tal would have to authorize me to do that, right?
Probably, yeah, because
So
it's a
I feel
science
like that's a
vessel.
thing.
Yeah, I would assume so.
There would definitely still be like a one over of the ship though that would
Yeah,
tell you like
yeah,
if
yeah.
something's damaged, it would flash red, or if the
Yeah.
shields were going down, it would flash.
Yeah.
So
I think knowing that we're in a debris field and not like an asteroid field or like some kind of roving space body, he's going to hit whatever the comms button is. And I don't think he remembers your name at this point because there's shit going on. But he's like, Captain, whatever, pass me sensor operator controls right now.
I am in the middle of trying to navigate something I was not expecting to wake up to, and now I have someone on my comm that I just met giving me orders.
She said, ugh.
as you hear the ugh on the other side, do you enter the code to give him access?
Yes.
You give him access on the which computer are you using?
Whatever
Like-
one in the med bay. Or the
Okay,
or
so you're on the
pod,
med. Yeah, so
pod.
you release the stasis pod computer for him to be able to take some control. But unfortunately, that only leaves you with a limited success on the pilot. As you beep, 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 you miss that moment as something side swipes the front end, a large chunk, and now you see it. It's not an asteroid. It is a part of a ship, a large, probably what was a jet propeller propulsion system, smashes into the front end, taking a few chunks of your ship with it. On the front end, and you look out, and as your ship kind of comes out the portal and loops around, and actually, I have this for all of you in roll 20. Let me make sure I've got it. I am on it. Yeah. Here's the Hemera system here. Here's the portal station. Okay. This circle and
Am
this
I supposed
circle
to see something?
should be on roll 20. I'm gonna switch you back just to make sure you guys see what I see. There's a map in roll 20 of the system. Let me know if you guys see it.
Shift click on it, Dot, so it pulls
I
into
see it.
Oh.
I don't see anything.
It doesn't. You guys don't see it?
No, I see
don't
it.
see it. So maybe it's me. Let me
Yeah.
just
Try zooming out and
Yeah, you may be
Rolling
far
around.
too close.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
either too
big
far
map.
back or too far in.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's
Thank
it's
you.
basically, it looks like it's a solar system. You can see the large star, which is what the system's named after. And here's the portal station where you need to be hitting. The two open circles are the portals themselves. There are two portals here, in, out, if that makes sense. Everybody that comes in and out checks in at the station. That's pretty standard across all of the stars in the horizon. Problem is, you've popped out and you are slowly heading closer towards the sun. This thing that has kind of sideswiped you is definitely, all of this debris is causing major problems. It may be time for you to contact the station, Tal, and try to make communication. Malik, we jump back to you. You keep typing and eventually it lets you in.
as you're typing, you hear, "I hope that data's worth it for you. That ship just hit my ship."
Fly better. I'm furiously trying to figure out what signature of the ship is, so I can figure out what the hell this ship might have been. Right?
You roll another data gen now that you have access.
Okay, alrighty, all right. Let's see what happens here. Oh, critical success!
Hey!
That's a double crit.
Holy
That is 6 sixes.
crap!
Can I see through time and space? What's happening here?
Yeah, like what?
Holy! So you
Feels like
you click
icon
click.
intervention.
having-
Download the
God.
plot for me, Dot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you get all the information. Well, I will
Thanks.
give you a lot of it.
Great.
You do a scan. You tap into the system of the ship, not only the internal system, but the one that scans externally, because it is a science vessel and an exploration vessel, and it pings outwards. What comes back to you is a bit of information. On a map, it looks like you're going through an asteroid field. This is not the kind of debris that's left by one ship. This is the kind of debris that's left by a lot of ships. Mostly a lot of small ships from what you can tell. Though, yes, mostly a lot of small vessels that have been exploded and blown apart, and these are their pieces. This was not by any means like a large-scale freighter or any kind of military vessel. These seem to be kind of like what you're currently in. A more privatized vessel. And as you ping out, you see information and the map all the way to the space station where you're on trajectory to head. You should be there in about 35 minutes at the current pace that you're going. The debris extends past it. It's like a field of debris that is now orbiting along with these two portals, the station itself around this star. More importantly, something pings out. A reading comes back of a vessel that is on trajectory for the star. It is in one piece, and it is a large vessel. I would say with that, you're like typing while you're like getting this information as fast as you can go. You try to tap into their comms or read something. All you manage to get back is the system's, the ship's, like the vessel's basic categorization data, which is like what kind of vessel it is and who it's registered to. What comes back to you is that this is the Ghazali ship. That's what it's called. The Ghazali, once it is categorized as a cruise ship vessel, but has recently changed hands. The new owner is the Consortium, and it is now considered a like a transport vessel of up to 500 people. It is no longer a functioning cruise ship. It is on trajectory to hit the star in about 10 hours' time.
Okay, great. And it's active, like it's still in one piece, and it's sending out
yes.
is it sending out a distress signal at all?
It is.
Great. Yeah, I think he looks to Tamir first and says the captain needs you, and then he hits the button again and calls out to the captain again and says, "There's still a ship out there. There's still one. It's still broadcasting, flying towards the sun."
Yes, it's mine, and I'm trying to get through this.
It's flying towards the sun. It's a distress signal, and he boop 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 and forwards that.
All right, well, we're on a rescue mission, aren't we? Stop distracting me. I'm trying to fly.
Okay, let's get. Yeah, go ahead.
Tal, this is the distress call. We have to help. We have to respond.
I know, but I got to get out of this shit first.
I'm going to get one more pilot roll from you to just realign the vessel on the correct course. Because then we can roll a little bit of information on what happens if you leave this trajectory and how far can you go out before you reach the pole of the sun itself. Okay. Great. Something takes it to the side of the ship and it knocks you off course, and you watch the red lights stop flashing all along the cargo. And there is just a simple voice that comes over that says, trajectory shifted.
What does that mean?
Means we're going into the sun.
Great, that's where the other ship's going too.
We'll meet them there, I guess.
Okay, so so like, can I like now that I'm like kind of recovering, I want to like start pulling up like my exoshell.
Yeah.
And what's the system telling me? Like what?
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Okay, so you pop the suit on. Do you ask it anything specific? Are you wanting something? Because I mean, it could tell you a lot of things.
Yeah, Defiant, talk to me. What is damaged? What needs to be repaired immediately so we can get back on course?
You hear a voice in your head. It kind of matches the one that came over the intercom. And it says, currently, there is too much debris to follow trajected course to the station. Alternate routes might be taken.
Okay, so start tracking alternative route.
Alternative routes tracking. And it kind of like, you hear that moment of like click, 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 click. As it works, and it shows one on your screen. It does route a trajectory through the obstacle course that currently is. It will need to be manually piloted, which is very difficult. It also pings the vessel.
Yeah. Ship, route another, or determine another route to meet up with the other vessel. Chart another route.
calculating another route that puts you in trajectory with the vessel. And it kind of pings. You watch it as it calculates. Lines come across the HUD deck of your visor screen, and it bing, and it shows a timer pops up on your screen. And it says to you, it says, a new route available. Only 3 hours until we are pulled into the orbit of the star.
What is the ETA?
It's in his suit. He wears a suit that connects him to the ship.
Okay, cool.
And what's the ETA to the vessel?
Vessel arrival in T-minus 1 hour and 5 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and send all of that information to Tal's screen so that she can see kind of where I'm going with this. Tal, it's up to you. Do you think you can pull this one off? I can change whatever energy sources you need so that you could fly better. But you need to let me know now. There's not a lot of time.
I mean, we'll try it. We don't have much of a choice. This is just going to be the hardest flight I've ever had. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. You hear this happen. They're talking around you, Polaris, as you kind of ping around. People are clacking on things. People are putting suits on. You're standing there like, how can I help? What can I do? You peer out of the porthole. You can see it. All of this stuff as you stare into this star through this like deep, dark tinted glass. It almost has a purple hue around the outside. The burning star creates a silhouette of all of the debris out the window. And deep off in the distance, you can see what they've been talking about, an extra vessel. Way off, just a small, maybe I don't even know if you have like gear or scopes and stuff. You're an operative. You're able to look out and you can just barely see it there.
Huh. Is there a bucket around me?
I'm sure if nothing else in the
Probably.
cargo bay, there would be.
So after a couple moments of realizing what is happening, and I'm just kind of like, I'm going to go and immediately like kind of fall to the bucket and throw up a little bit.
Yep.
Just because of the whole stasis stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'm going to gather myself up and be like, okay. And I'm going to walk up to Tamir and kind of just tap Tamir and then just be like, is there anything I can do? Like in a very like calm and like odd motion.
Clean that bucket.
I'm going to keep that for later.
Yes. Please save the bucket. You're probably going to want to get yourself strapped in. Go make sure that Malik is strapped in too. It's going to be a very, very bumpy ride.
Okay. Would I have known where? Do I see Malik? You didn't go anywhere, right? You're still in the.
Yeah, I'm still in the room with you guys.
All right. I'm going to try to walk and probably trip a little bit because my legs are still a little wobbly and just kind of like a full-on showcase of how unathletic and not balanced a human can be. And just like grab the rail and go up to Malik and tap you on the shoulder. Your brother said to strap in. You can kind of smell the throw up as well.
Ugh. Blech.
Great, good. Glad I ate today. He looks to you and says, he looks around, and I assume there's like railings places.
I'm gripping onto the railing right now. Like
Yeah.
leaning.
Oh, yeah.
He looks at you and says, we need to find the bridge, and we need to strap in there.
Okay, I like look around. I don't know where that is.
It's where you just were.
Oh, never mind. I know where that is.
You turn around and you go back in. You hear that voice over the air.
He's a little messed up. Okay, he's a little
door-
messed up.
It's in here.
I know where it is. And I'm gonna turn around and like walk back, and then just sit down and strap myself and be like,
Yeah.
all right, well, fuck.
Yep. You clip in, and nice and tight. You check it. All right. So here's what's up. We're gonna take this. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I would also like to hug my bucket as I'm sitting there.
Yeah. You can bring the
Okay,
bucket.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody thinks it's your bucket now, anyways.
I
It's
really
my
hope
bucket.
gravity fails.
This is now your new bucket.
Like, can like we also just run like a systems check
Yes, you can.
to see what's working, what is not working?
Yeah,
We
you
can
asked
go
the
for it.
suit. Have you named the internal suit system for this ship?
No. What
The
is it?
system, let's call it
Is down?
Sally.
Sally. The systems intelligence I'll figure out an acronym. I'm gonna figure out an acronym for that. Okay, Sally. You asked Sally Tamir to run a systems diagnostic. Minimal damage to front end of ship. Weapons intact. Hull intact. All systems functioning.
Perfect. Tal, what do you need? What can I do for you?
Tal.
What can he do for you, Tal? Anything?
Sorry. Just make sure you're. I don't know. Just make sure you're checking on that route. If it changes, let me know.
Will
I'm
do.
manually flying, and please stop just trying to distract me.
Yep. All right. Here's what I need.
ADD pilot.
Sorry, I was writing notes.
she's like scribbling quick.
Just to clarify, we
There's
came
so
out of
much in this
portal.
game.
There's so much here.
We just came out of this portal, and then instead of like arriving on course, we're like wibbly wobbling throughout a different course, and then there's another ship wibbly wobbling coming towards the sun.
Yeah. So, can you see the map now in Roll20?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So this is the portal that I just pinged that you came out of.
Okay.
The cylindrical line that kind of goes around the actual orbit is the set trajectory as you come out of the portal.
That we're supposed to.
That you're supposed to stay on, and it takes you to the station where you have to check in, which is the Hammurabi station here in the middle. When you came out, the laid line, trajectory line towards the station is now littered with debris.
Gotcha.
Should not be that way. That's definitely not normal. More importantly, you picked up on this blue dot that I put out here is actually, that is the vessel, the other vessel.
Gotcha.
It's about halfway to the star. It is far off course, and a distress signal was picked up from it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it is the only vessel out of everything that you're floating in that is intact. Everything else around you, as Malik found out, seems to be small vessels that have somehow come apart and are now actually caught in the trajectory belt around the star, which is why you're having to navigate through it. The suit that Tamir has worn that connects him to the ship has rerouted you. The new route is taking you have 3 hours to make it to that vessel and out before you hit the no return zone from the sun. You're 10 hours out from what's known as the D zone. And the D zone is basically the point of disintegration, where it's so hot, everything disintegrates.
Cool.
So 10 hours to disintegration zone, 3 hours to no return. Back to the main trajectory. Yeah. Is what you got. So, and it's only just over an hour to the vessel itself if you go full speed, and Tal has no issues. Now, what is interesting is the majority of the debris gets thinner as you go towards the vessel. It seems to all be caught in that band. So as you exit it, it's actually getting it's dispersing out. There's not as much of it.
Huh. Okay.
That's a relief.
Yeah. So it will get easier, actually. So first things first, our icon card of the asteroid has been played. That was the junk field that you just came through. More importantly, it was not going to be in your way, but we can thank chat for putting it there.
Thanks, chat.
Thank you.
Cool, guys. Real nice.
I can't wait to die in the darkness void that is space.
So I will make sure that we
inevitable.
take that one off because we have officially played the asteroid. So,
Oh my god, if that's the asteroids, what is blood?
That's what I'm saying.
Shit. You're so boned.
I hope I
okay.
just have to donate some blood or something.
Also,
Oh my
I
gosh.
just named the program for you, the ship's computers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is scientifically programmed algorithmic instruments. Sally,
Perfect.
SALI.
Sally. That's
Boss.
it. That's it. Nice. Thank you. Perfect. I'm putting this on our stuff right now for our
That's
ship.
really cool. That was really
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed. I just didn't have time to think about it live. Thank you, Mike.
Don't worry, I got it.
Dot's
I
like, that's
appreciate
exact- I was gonna do that, but whatever.
Hey, I will always take your input. I'm going to drop that actually in our NPCs. Not technically an NPC, but kind of.
Could be.
That was totally going to keep me up tonight, is thinking of something that...
Perfect. So you are going to start the trajectory. The goal is to reach this ship known as the Ghazali that has put out a distress beacon. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to have you make the first pilot roll. I'm going to have you make just one unless something goes wrong. And I'm going to give you an extra die because your ship was preyed on.
Yes.
By a priest of the traveler. When you click on the pilot, there's a box that should pop up that says modifier. You can put 1 in that, and that should roll the extra die.
It does not pop up when I click it.
I think
That's
it's
okay.
I think it's on the top.
It's on the top of your character sheet.
It's on the very, very top. I
Ah.
remember last time you said that goes for everything.
That's
So
one.
you have to change it back to 0.
Yeah, so just 1, and then you can roll the pilot.
Hey,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nicely
Hell yeah.
done.
That was
Nicely
a
done.
good
Oh,
time
you
for
know
that.
what? I need to very quickly. This made me think of it. Your successes made me think of all your failures. Guess what I get for every
Wait,
time
what?
you. Yeah, your
Oh,
failures.
gosh.
Oh, no,
No.
that's right.
No.
1,
No.
2, 3.
Failure
Panic.
counts as that?
Just no. We don't have to do that.
Please don't
already
take those
failed.
darkness points, Dot.
Oh,
Don't take
God.
those darkness points.
But it's so hard to succeed in the first place.
I think we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 failures.
Big
so
old
far.
whopping 4 today. So I'm just
wanna-
gonna mark
I just want to
those.
point out that none of them are mine, so I mean,
Oh, shut up!
Oh.
Don't mean they don't affect you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
That's
none
the
of them.
hard
affect
truth of the
him.
third horizon,
Just
baby.
saying none of them are my fault. Okay, I'm just.
All right. So for all of you at home, every time they fail, I get what's known as a darkness point. And I can spend those darkness points throughout the campaign as I see fit, like literally turn them in to make things happen to them. Probably bad things. But with your help and my help, together we will kill them. So.
Of the ages.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
But the good news is today, regardless of all the darkness points that Dot has got, all of you make it.
Die. Oh,
Oh.
All of you make it. It takes you
Cool.
time, and there is a navigation. Your pilot works in just deep concentration as she manually pilots you through this debris that slowly dissipates out. And after about 30 minutes, you can see it. This vessel, much larger than your current vessel. It was a cruise liner. And along the side, it seems a bit worn in terms of travel and things, as if it's not really been taken care of. And you can see that there have been some augmentations made to it, but this is what it looks like. The Ghazali.
Ooh.
Oh, she pretty.
Yeah.
Very
And
pretty.
as you get closer, Malik, I'm going to say because of all of your data ginning at 6 frickin' successes, as you get closer, there is no audible distress signal. It's just like the proper like distress signal out from the ship itself. There is damage done to the front of the vessel, a large charred and burning as if something happened to it that probably knocked it off course. Obviously damage from whatever the general explosion is that probably had something to do with all these other vessels. More importantly, there are, all you can read from this far out is there are bionic life forms aboard.
Bionic.
As we're getting close.
Actually, I take that back. Yes, there is one bionic life form aboard, and there are 2 organic life forms aboard.
As we're getting close, I say to Tamir, try to get a signal out to them, see if you can get them on the comms or something.
On it, and if I can't, Malik, I might need your assistance with that.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able? You know my my rifle, my accelerator rifle. The scope on that, is that close enough for me to use to look at the ship?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Not quite yet. I mean, you'd have to go up to the front because you're actually headed like towards the vessel, so it wouldn't be out either of the sides at this point. You're literally like kind of trailing it as it's being sucked into the sun. You're racing towards it. So you could go to the cockpit and look out the cockpit and see if you could see anything closer.
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really odd to see me running down your ship with a rifle at hand. Just saying.
I'm
She's
focused.
this
I am
point,
laser focused and
Dot, can I tell where the bridge is on this ship?
sure, yeah. Oh, you mean on the larger vessel on the
Yeah,
Ghazali?
I mean we're in the bridge now. In the
Yeah. Yes. I would say yes, you can actually. If you take a look, you can see that there's actually a map. If you scroll, no, I'm sorry. If you, nope, I don't have a map. I lie. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, you can kind of take a look and see where the bridge is at. There are some docking points for this. Yeah.
Does the bridge look like it has any damage to it, or is it just the nose?
Yes, it's gone. Entirely.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, as soon as Tal issues the command for Tamir to fire off some kind of signal, he looks back and says, "There's no bridge on the ship. The bridge is missing. I have one bionic, 2 organic life forms. I don't think anyone's putting out the signal. I think it's emergency broadcast. But there's plenty of spots to land.
One bionic, 2 organic. Do we even want to deal with this thing?
This ship is owned by the Consortium.
It is. And the Consortium pays a lot of money to people to retrieve valuable things for them.
I mean, at a minimum, we can get the Emerald Disc out of what's left of the bridge, perhaps.
That's true. All right. Let me look around, see if I can find somewhere to dock on this thing.
And you very easily do. That was a critical success for your pilot. You're finally in the zone. You're really shook up when you came out of that space, but now like you zoned in, and this is why you're a pilot. And you're able to dock. You do have all the necessary equipment to be able to do that on your vessel, and none of it is currently harmed. So you should be good to go. You connect the 2 docking stations easily enough. The ship still has power, at least from what you can tell to some degree, even after all of the damage, because some of it sparks and still flickers. Though it is not being piloted, and the thrusters are not currently on. It is being naturally pulled in by the sun because it has nothing that's like fighting that.
Could I do like a wideband comms?
Yeah.
To see if anybody has
response.
Any sort of
If anybody on board responds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you say?
This is Tamir of the Defiant. Is there anyone out there? Can you hear us? Are you okay? Please respond.
There's no response. A pregnant pause.
Okay. And you're sure that you determined that there are 2 forms of one? You said 1 bionic, 2 organic, or reverse?
Yeah. Do I know what that means?
It means whoever has the bionic reading is. There's not really proper like droids and like cyborgs necessarily.
Yeah, but like they're biosculpted.
They have a bioscope that's coming forward, and for the distance on what you read, it's a pretty impressive one.
So like
probably Consortium issued.
Probably like a humanite.
Yes, that's a good guess.
Okay.
The other 2 organic life forms could be any organic life forms.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, he looks back to Tamir and says, "Yeah, 1 bionic, 2 organic, and it's something important. The bionic one. If I could reach it from the ship."
Well, do you want us to attempt to board? We could take Soul with us.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I mean, if nothing else, see what you can get from the ship, see if you can get any data from it. They'll probably buy it from us for a nice penny. Nice burr.
I don't think we're towing this.
We're not towing this.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying, see if you can get any data.
Right.
Any information. Maybe anything shiny.
So if I'm at the bridge now, I guess I'm by Tal, right?
Yeah. You would be right
am I allowed on the bridge? I don't really know much about ships and stuff. Like.
Yeah. I mean, the bridge is kind of the main area. Her cockpit would be a little tighter probably for this vessel. It does seat 4 comfortably, but it's her space very clearly.
I lean forward to Tal and be like, "So, do you want me to board this and just take all the pretty things and bring it back?"
I mean, we're not here to loot it, but if it looks important and
To bring it
someone
back?
might want it, then
Bring it
yes, we
back?
will bring it back.
Bring it back. Okay, I'll bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, the organic life forms were the most important, and I guess the bionic one could be anything. Though, the organic life forms could be like a cat.
Am I supposed to bring if we find living people or whatever? Am I supposed to bring them back here, or do you want me to kill them?
Isn't this a rescue mission? Didn't you give me a rescue mission?
Technically, your
This is
rescue-
your
It's not my. It's
rescue
not for this
mission?
area though. Yeah, but not for that shit.
I feel like you just
Technically, the rescue mission, he's right. That is absolutely correct. The rescue mission is for the Taoan system, not for this one.
The thing is, though, if you're going to go out specifically to rescue people, and you don't like rescue people on the way,
Right.
they're sending the wrong people to rescue people.
Well, I'm just asking you. You are the captain. What would you prefer me to do?
Saul.
Yes, bring them back. How else are we going to figure out what happened here?
I guess that makes sense. Okay. And he turns around.
You turn around, and as you say it, you hit the button. The hydraulics slide your doors open. The seal is airtight.
We need to talk about crimes.
One set of doors for the Ghazali opens. The second set go to open, and you hear and can see as the door kind of just peeks open as it keeps slamming back shut, that there are red lights going off on the inside of this ship. Every time it comes through, a red pane of light crashes into your face.
Was I supposed to wait for somebody, or was I supposed to go by myself?
I mean,
I think at least Malik is coming with you.
Yeah, Tamir's.
I don't
suited up
fully
and
go.
ready to
Then yeah, I'm probably gonna wait until just
Okay.
to wait for the order. Like, just give me the word, and it seems like the door's a bit jammed. Can I see through like the?
yeah, every time it tries to like.
Does it appear to be like mechanical or
It's a mechanical-
software malfunction?
It seems to be damaged.
If I look around, can I see anything like physical hindering the door, or does it look like it's within the specs of the door? Like something.
It looks
jamming
as if something from the interior of the ship has damaged the door.
Gotcha.
And it's like it's like any door when you get in a car accident, it doesn't close back right. Yeah. This one doesn't slide open right because it's been damaged. But it's been damaged from the interior of the ship.
As it goes like every time it does that, can I try to look and try to get like a clear picture of what I'm looking at down the thing?
Sure. You bend down, your eye gets close, you're trying to time it so that you can see what you need to see. And as you get close, something large, as it darts past the small hallway that this leads into, you hear the scraping of something as it runs past. By the time it opens a second time, it is absolutely gone.
Is there a button to close the door?
Yeah.
Like our door? Just
Yeah.
for a minute? All right,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna close it for a minute.
You all right? We gotta go.
Oh hi.
We have 16 minutes to try to find any life and bring them out safely.
I saw some large shadowy figure just run across, and it sounded very. Trying to remember what it sounded like. What would it have
It
sounded
was
like?
a very low growl.
Okay. If it sound like a very low growl.
You've offered to and asked permission to kill more people in the last 3 days than I've ever asked before in my life. Kill it.
Yeah, about that. I'm proficient. I mean, yeah, he's trying to think like I can't fucking say I'm good at killing people. So he sounds like fuck.
I think like Tamir and Malik could look at each other and already figure out that you're good at killing people.
Yeah, but Saul doesn't
the
know that,
only
though.
guy here with a big fucking rifle.
If you need to know how to do it,
Literally a rocket scientist.
put more bullets into it.
Yeah. I mean, are you two gonna come with me?
After you kill it, What do you want me to do? Throw my computer at it?
No, please, we're not going to kill anything yet. We don't know what it is.
Oh.
It could be a humanite. It could be human.
I mean,
don't think
probably
it is.
determine that first.
People don't growl, usually.
They could be injured.
All right, fuck it.
They could have CO2 poisoning.
I'm gonna open the door,
Uh,
and then is it large enough for me to send my recon droid in there or no?
How big's your recon droid?
I have a recon droid.
Fucking use it!
I have no idea how big a recon droid is, to be honest with you.
I would say, if I am correct,
They're
it's
smaller than
yeah.
other
You
droids.
usually carry them and then you send them in. And I imagine them like kind of soft. They basically look like a Roomba, but they float in my mind's eye.
Awesome.
I don't know why. They're like circular, kind of like saucery, and they have like a dome piece on the top and a couple like arms that will pop out like Swiss Army knife style if necessary.
I love how science works in your brain. It's like a Roomba
judge
with little
me.
arms.
Perfect.
Can I send that
Excuse
in
me. You've watched The Expanse. Their
That's
fancy
what's in
ass
my-
drones are actual drones.
Yeah,
They
like
could come up with something better.
it's just a drone. Plus, humans made these things. We're not that damn creative. So,
Meanwhile, Tal is sitting in the cockpit, hand in head, listening through the comms to all of this.
all right.
Just hovering over the disconnect button.
Yeah, you know what? She's having a good time.
I know, you're
listening
probably
to
getting
the
quite a giggle.
Yeah.
All right, so you you turn it on its side and you time it just right as you roll the droid through like a coin through a slot, and you power it up as it reaches the other side. The camera turns on and you're able to watch it from kind of like a HUD deck control system on but you can do it on any data pad that you have available. And it moves up and it's now under your control. It looks around. You can see 360 in it. You control the camera and you can see 360. You have come into a section of the ship that seems to be just like a hallway. It goes right and it goes left. How would you like to proceed?
I just want to do a quick 360 spin and see what's around to see if whatever I looked was still there.
Hallway right and left. There seems to be a lot of damaged parts on the interior of the ship. You see very clearly some firearms have gone off in the vessel. The real question is, do you go right or left? Because there's only, you got to pick a direction to continue because it like loops around, if that makes sense. So you can only see
I
so
see.
far.
Oh, so it's like a circular thing. Well, before I do that, can I turn around and see what's possibly jamming the door?
Sure. You turn around and you watch as from the interior of the door now as it's like something rather large, larger than a human, looks to have smashed into this. The door is kind of bent and dented. A large titanium steel door, of course. The side that you see is not, but your end is, and it's crunched.
So the other side isn't damaged? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
your side, the side that you're seeing, you can only see it a little bit, like it bends just a little. You know, it's like a car
Right.
door in an accident. From the interior, it's not as bad, so that you couldn't really see it. But when you turn around and look at it, something has smashed into it from the interior of the vessel and has dented the doors enough where they can't slide open.
Oh, I see.
So they're going to
Okay.
have to either be pried open or cut open if you want to enter.
Okay. I'll try prying open. I don't know how strong I am.
You can make the strength check to see if you
Yeah.
can do it. Might as well. So go for it, sir. I
Okay.
don't know if you have anything bonus to add to it. That might be just a flat strength. Yeah, I'm gonna just make it a flat strength check, I guess, because you don't have force. So yeah,
So
we'll do
just-
just a strength.
Oh, yes, finally.
You put one boot on it, you catch it, you put a boot on it, and you begin to push, and the door creaks open. About 1.5 feet is as far as you get it.
Mhm.
And you have to hold it.
I have to hold it.
Yeah, you're like holding it. You can feel it pressing against you. It's still, the mechanism's like all of it's broken, right? So it's still trying to like close and open. So it's like into your back as you're holding it at this point.
Okay. This is what I'm gonna do then, because I don't want them to come with me if I don't have a clear.
Okay, and you can
Okay.
slip in. You can like
Yeah.
slide in the hole, and the door
I'm gonna
will
just
go
look
back.
and just tell me like I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna clear first. I'm gonna slip through so the door closes. Can I send my recon droid behind me one direction and I go
Yeah, the other.
slowly the other direction while watching the recons.
Yeah.
Like back and forth like that.
Kind of back and forth. You guys watch. Sewell slips in. You can see from the computer on the ship out of his droid. You can't see out of his eyes, obviously, but you can see out of the droid, just as he can. And things start going around.
I go slowly.
You go slowly. The very first thing that you notice, you and the droid, there are dead bodies.
Okay. I'm going to report everything I see. I know they can see it, but I'm just going to count.
Well, they can see the droid. They can't see what you're seeing. The first thing that you come across, Sewell, is almost like deja vu. A circular chamber, this time about 4 times as large as the one that you were in.
Okay.
But it's the exact same. All of the sleeping pods or coffins sit in this space. All of them are open. Some of the bodies are laid kind of out on the floor, clearly didn't make it after the cryostasis or whatever happened here. Some of them are broken open, but there are no bodies in this room in particular. The droid, on the other hand, it rounds the corner and it sees a med lab. The med lab is pretty stocked full of stuff. And more importantly, it looks like people have that things have been disturbed here. There are a few flares and weapons that have been laid out on the medical table as if people gathered here, maybe, and then left.
What kind of weapons are on the table?
All that's left seem to be a few clips, a small handgun, and a bunch of flares.
Okay, I'm gonna circle back to where the recon drone is. And I'm gonna pick up the weapons.
Okay. The droid was that way, so the droid can pick it up.
Go back.
You want to go meet it?
Yeah, I don't think the recon droid has hands. I think it's just.
You think it's just a camera floating like Cam?
No,
I love it.
when I read it,
just the Roomba.
When I read it, it said it didn't have hands. It's just a visual thing.
It's just a visual thing. Okay, so perfect. Even better.
I'm gonna come back. And then send the droid back the way I was. Grab the gun and the clips.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna make my way back to the door.
Cool. The droid continues down the hallway, past where you went, past that room, into a very there's a flight of stairs that go up, and down here on this floor you see housing, enough housing for about 500 people. There are roughly 50 coffin chambers here for sleeping. Each of them stocked to the max. This is a big vessel. And you find a cargo chamber. The droid finds it. It is full of supplies. Everything from food to medicine to armor and weaponry, and everything has the Consortium stamp on it.
Okay, I'm gonna obviously send the droid's feed back to Tal and the ship.
Yep, all of you all see that.
I'm just gonna message like, this is a lot of stuff.
I feel like it's a quick cut back, and it's just Tamir and Malik waiting in the tunnel. Think you'll die?
I mean, he's got a gun? Probably
I give
not.
like 70-30?
Maybe 80-20?
80-20 on living or dying?
Dying.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Sewell. Guys, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Hello?
Meanwhile, Tal's in the what's it called?
Bridge.
The cockpit bridge.
The cockpit. She's in the cockpit, like, just picking at her nails, like, just wait.
The droid continues up the flight of stairs that go to the top area. It reaches it. The first thing that you see is the missing bridge. It is gone. The door has been sealed, and there's blood everywhere. There was a massive explosion that took the bridge out. In addition, you see that there are all of the escape pods are here. All of them are gone.
Oh, okay.
All of the escape pods have been ejected. And it continues down to the back where the hold is. It actually holds more vessels because this is a cruise ship now, okay? That's what it was a massive cruise ship. You get back there, the camera kind of gets in. There's space enough here for 2 additional vessels. One of them was damaged in whatever explosion happened. The second one, the hatch is currently open, and there was somebody crawling into it. All that's left is an arm. It currently hangs from it. Blood drips down the side. It looks like something has potentially ripped.
So someone was trying to escape on that.
It seems that way. It
And
seems
that's what
that
my
actually
recon droid
a
sees?
few people, as the droid turns 360s, you see the body parts of a large group of people.
I'm assuming the droid's feed is going back to.
Oh yeah, you guys are seeing all of this.
Okay, so by now I'm assuming I'll probably make it back to the door, and I'm gonna try to push the door open again.
Yeah, I would say you did it once. You're able to
Yeah.
do it again.
And I'm gonna open the door and just hold it and be like, "It's clear."
Did you see all the dead bodies bleeding everywhere?
That is not clear.
Oh, it's clear enough. Come on.
How many?
Guys, you only have like 10 more minutes.
Shit.
Quick.
Fine. And he like
And then-
slips
and-
under
and
Soul's
then-
arm.
And now
Okay.
as Malik slips first, I'm gonna like push the pistol against him. I'm like, just in case.
Have one.
Oh, never mind. I take it back.
Anybody else need a pistol? We got a spare.
He just he quickly says have one and then kind of
Okay.
shoves it back.
Okay, and
Okay.
I'm still holding the door, waiting for Tamir.
Yeah, Tamir will like cautiously go ahead and slide under.
I'm like, "Do you have a pistol?"
No.
Okay, I give him I shove the pistol against his chest, and then I grab the clips and push that too. Stick with your brother, and I'm like, "Stick with your brother."
And off the 3 of you go. You see all of this as you walk through. As you get up, something that the droid picked up on, but was not, I guess, activated. When you walk up to where the bridge used to be, there's a comm station, a HUD desk. And as all 3 of you bridge from the first floor to the second, a hologram comes on of kind of like a person. It flickers and it's light, almost completely transparent. But you hear the voice of the system of the ship. And it simply says, "I thought you were leaving."
I like nudge at Malik.
The crew of Ghazali must leave.
Who are we speaking to?
Oh, there's a moment as it like processes this, and it says, "I am Suhaim. I am the ship's computer system for the Ghazali. All crew of the Ghazali must exit the vessel."
All crew of the Ghazali have left the vessel. We are a rescue crew. What happened on the ship?
There's a as it pulls up a bunch of stuff, and Suhaim says, "You have come to rescue, so they did not leave."
Ask him who's they.
The crew.
No, I asked her who they is. Like, where are they?
They're all dead all around us. Didn't you see your own feed?
But you said there were 2 organic.
You must find the disc. You must deliver the disc back to the consortium. They must know the truth of what happened.
Are your sensors operational?
Sensors operational.
Can you scan for bionic life forms other than the 3 of us here?
2 bionic life forms. 2 organic life forms, 1 bionic life form.
Can you locate them?
Locating. They are currently moving towards us.
Great. Where is the emerald disc?
There's a moment, it thinks, kind of thinks back, and it says, "The captain."
Fuck the bridge.
The bridge or the captain's quarters? Or on the captain?
The captain. The captain left a message.
What the fuck?
Do you have a map?
The captain pulled the disc. The captain gave it to, and it kind of gets statically a little bit as he goes to say a name. He says, the crew, they were leaving. They were trying to evacuate.
Download map of Ghazali.
Downloading map of Ghazali. It
At
pings
this
up.
point, can I have a proximity sensor. I think it's a weak one.
Yeah.
Can I turn that on just to see
Yep.
if like how
You
what's
turn it
the-
on, and you know it's on because it goes. Doot.
Mhm.
Doot.
Cool.
Identify
that on.
identify location, last known location of the captain.
Last known location of the captain. The bridge. Her
Great.
He goes, playing, yeah, right. He will play her last message for you before the jump. If I can pull it, I should be able to pull that for you.
As we listen to this, I'm just gonna, I don't know if like Tal would hear all this.
Yeah. So I have my comms 3.
Okay.
I'm probably feeding it back to
To you,
Tal.
yeah,
To our ship, yeah. So that things are recorded.
Tal's sitting on the bridge of the ship, watching the feed, and also keeping an eye on radar, and if anything else is coming around, if there's anything moving.
Yeah. Okay. All you hear in the faint background is the doot, doot, as he pulls up the last record from the captain. She says, logging in. Captain Lakash. The Tasharbi colony has sent us a distress call, and we're part of a response team. What we expect to find after we jump to the Taoan is not clear. Well, you've already heard the message. We're being escorted by a Legion destroyer, the Safara, and if we make the jump, and we are to make the jump immediately after her. The colony is a gas mining system orbiting, the colony is a gas mine orbiting the system's largest planet. About 300 colonists, many miners, plus a few scientists are there. Since we're going in blind, no orders have been issued. Sensor sweeps will tell us more when we get there. All non-essential personnel are to go on ice immediately and sleep their way there. May the icons be with us. The deckhand smiles in the bed next to you, and the traveler keeps watch from the bridge as we jump. See you in Taoan. And it ends. The system comes back up and says, final message from the captain played.
System, transfer last sensor reading.
Last sensor reading. It transfers it over, so the ship now is basically taking log of everything that's coming in. The last log, or the last sensor reading, showed that they were to make a jump. The captain was the last to go into cryostasis. She did not make it out of the bridge. What you see is the Legion vessel disappearing into the black hole that is to lead them to Taoan. Then a large flash of light spills out from it. It engulfs every vessel that's floating around them, a bunch of small ships, and they explode into pieces. There is a strange mixture of light and darkness that takes over this ship. Something flashes through. It's as if the ship is going to be pulled through and then isn't, and spat back out the opposing portal. As it comes out the other side, it throws them off trajectory, the explosion. And it seems that it sent them right into the sun. Anybody on the bridge, including the captain, did not make it. It seems that the rest of the survivors woke up about 3 hours later, and the ship was already being pulled into the stars.
Would I know that that is not normal portal behavior?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Okay.
Portals
That's
are
really concerning.
Very stable. Well, I say that there are some that aren't as stable, but the main ones, including this, they should have been able to hop no problem from Kua to Hamara to Taoan. No issue. The system then says transferring other logs, and it pulls it up. It seems that from what you can very quickly tell, that there will be some more things that you need to go through. The Consortium hired them and a Legion ship to make a trip to Taoan before any of you were ever hired. 3 weeks ago, Coriolis received a distress signal, one that came from the mines of Taoan, this mining colony, what did I call it? Where is it? I'll get it right. To Shiraib. And they were sent to rescue this mining colony. The Legion ship is nowhere to be seen. And this other vessel, this cruise ship you're standing on, was purchased very quickly, renovated into a transport vessel, and was sent with the Legion. They never made it through. The Legion ship might have.
Any more questions?
Do you think it is possible we can go locate the disc?
Yes.
That seems a bit important, but
And the system says the disc. It was on the survivors, the last of them. They were headed for the vessel in the docking bay.
Where we saw the severed hand?
that would be a docking bay, yes, so
Okay.
let's move. We've got, what, 4 minutes left?
Okay. So
Just about.
I guess at this point we would need to hustle. So Sol would probably kind of move ahead while moving forward, and he's kind of in a crouching, like
Right.
running position, or not running, but like crouching, moving position, like kind of like constantly scanning back and forth, And
Okay.
the drone's going to be following right above him, but he's going to look behind him.
Cool.
While he looks in front.
The drone like floats above your head. You take point at the front. Mike, I saw that look on your face like you were going to say something
I
cheeky.
think they're.
It's not cheeky, but as soon as Saul goes to leave and like start being all operator style, Malik grabs Tamir by his exosuit and so kind of like yanks him in and says, "Your only job is to take the disc and don't be a hero." And he kind of pushes him back, and then he kind of drops down and begins to follow Sewell, and then pulls the pistol out of the back of his pocket.
You're transmitting everything that's going on, right?
Yeah, you're hearing all of this. You're basically
Sure.
tapped into their mutual comm.
You hear back on the comm. That's right.
That's it. That's it. You get it. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Well,
If we went around, right, and we're now basically going up the stairs where my drone was, and this is where like, I guess the stasis pod, like bunkers or whatever,
Yeah,
like the living residential area, and then past that is the cargo bay, right?
Correct.
And then where is the docking bay? Up.
Yeah. So basically, it's like if you're going to come up the stairs, you see this like kind of centralized communal area that probably has like a mess area and stuff where the bridge was that is now closed off so that, it's not sucking you out into space. And then on the opposite side, like if you go down, you'll find the individual chambers where everybody can sleep. That's supposed to be like, hopefully was for survivors. And then at the very, very back of the upper deck, you'll find a massive cargo hold that is dedicated to 2 vessels. One vessel was clearly damaged in the whatever attack or explosion happened. The other vessel seemed to be okay, and people were trying to get to it. And when you get there and you guys kind of creep into the space, you can smell it. Fresh iron spills out from the bodies of all of these people. There were about 12 of them. 2 children, and the rest adults. Parts of them lay everywhere. And yeah, that's about what you can tell. Something
I
has
would
come in
keep a
and ripped them to pieces.
I would keep a safe distance from Malik and Tamir as well, so I'm not too separate from them. So I'm like, if I'm moving too fast and they're like kind of like straggling, I would also slow down just to make sure they were one unit.
I'll give you guys, you know what, go ahead and make I'm going to have all 3 of you, as you're now a little bit more, your senses are a little bit more heightened because, fear does that to you. You can make an observation roll for anybody that wants to.
Oh yeah, I always want to. If I know how to do that, actually.
Hey!
Never mind. No, I failed. The operative failed. Fuck.
Tamir, as they're walking towards the ship cargo hold, there's also just the cargo hold, which you can see now is full of all kinds of things. And something catches your eye. As you actually stop, you don't walk past it, you stop and you really peer in. This cargo hold seems to have stacks and stacks of crates. I would say probably about 12, maybe 13 of them, large enough to hold 3 people at a time. They're stacked like 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Some of them have like been thrown to the side and are damaged. It looks like a couple of them might have got sucked out of an explosion, and that end has kind of been cut off, leaving 4 crates kind of left. 3 of them are broken open. One of them is not. And there's a furry creature that lays dead inside of it. You can tell it's dead because it's got a piece of debris stuck into its neck from the crashed vessel. And it bleeds out everywhere, this thick, viscous red.
Tal, are you seeing this?
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
How far away are? How long would it take to run back to the ship, and then back in here?
2 minutes.
Just keep going, Tamir. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's fine, but I could get my portable lab kit. This could be important.
I mean, grab it on your way out if you're that worried about it.
Can
I
I
look
like
back.
What are we here for, Tamir?
the disc?
Keep your eye on the prize.
All right.
You're in your suit still, right?
Yeah.
The suit runs a diagnostic of the dead creature. It can kind of do that from afar. The suit runs the diagnostic as you kind of pass. It obviously, it's like on its side, it's very furry, very muscular, and it lays kind of in this contorted way, clearly having been mangled in the accident. Let's make sure I pull up the right book here and can tell you exactly what you're staring at. Yeah, this is where things get fun, people. This is where things get fun.
It's already been fun. Now it's
That's
funner.
good. That's good. What are you talking about? This is the Coriolis book. That has to be right. It scans it and it beep boops around, and it comes up with a creature that you don't know that you've ever really seen before, unless you've been planet side, because they are native to jungles across the third horizon. It shows you a couple images, like on your HUD deck, of a Scavara. These are, I'm sorry, that's not correct. They're called Nicatra. Nicatra are kind of a feared, upright, furry, fanged creature. They are known to jungle regions, specifically of Kua and Minkar, and it's not well known, but for those people that have any kind of military connection would know that the military has captured these creatures from planet side and has used them as weapons, military weapons, trained them, altered them, and use them as they see fit. It seems that they had a fleet of them, 13 in fact, that they were transporting with them to this mining colony.
I'm not sure that Tamir would know too much about the military, because
so you may not know that part, but you would know this is a jungle creature. It would definitely tell you that, because that's just that general database information. Sure. And why they have 13 of them, then you wouldn't know.
Okay. Tell them, make sure that this is all being recorded. I think this could either get us in trouble, so it would be good to have something to prove that we weren't part of this.
And
Don't
then
worry, I got it all recorded here.
Then there's a clatter, a clang, as if a ceiling panel falls open.
Where?
And there's a thud of 2 very large feet. The camera pans down the hallway about 60 or 70 feet to Malik and Sul, who have just crossed into the cargo bay. Are you searching bodies for this disc?
I mean, I'm searching for the captain.
I think I would.
The captain died. She gone. She died in the original explosion.
Oh,
yeah, she was on the
okay.
bridge.
The captain gave it to the person. The person tried to
They
run
gave it to one of the people here, is what the system told you. That the survivors that were trying to escape have this.
Then yes.
I feel if I see Malik like searching, I would kind of search, but half search, and kind of keep my other attention, like just overwatching everything, and keep my drone as high as I can to watch everything.
Okay. Then I need whoever is searching all the bodies for the discs to make the investigation roll here. I think it's called investigation.
Would that count for me too, or no?
I'm sorry?
Observation?
Observation. Yeah, I'll take an observation. That's fine.
Would that count for me as well, or no?
No. You're making a different kind of observation. So you're welcome to make one too, but it will be Malik that makes the one for the disc. It's difficult. There are pieces of bodies. They've been gnawed apart by the whatever creature or thing is here, partially eaten. You find what you think, based on what's left of the arm that's literally gripped and hanging from the edge of the vessel they were trying to climb into, based on the sleeve and what's left of the core torso, is off about 10 feet to the right. It was dragged. You can see the line. And as you search the body and pat down pockets, you find it. A blue disc. It's about this big.
Is that right? Do I know that that's correct? Like that's what we're looking for?
Yes, every vessel that is registered with the consortium has to have one of these. It's the red box, right?
It's, the black box.
Yeah, or black box.
Yeah, I snatched that up, and I assume that Solace is near me somewhere, and I just kind of reach out and I like pat like his back.
I nod. I'll nod,
and then I start moving back towards the door as quickly and quietly as possible.
You start kind of moving back towards the door. Guess what, Sewell? Your boop, 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 boop. Something's getting much, much closer. And it is your drone up higher than all of you that picks up on the first of a large snout, gnarled and dripping with some kind of viscous fluid, peers around with its furry face, stares black eyes directly at the back of Tamir.
Wait, he's facing Tamir?
Tamir's down the hallway. You have to turn
Whoa.
around and look. Yeah, and it's coming from behind Tamir. It's flanking him. It's dropped out of the ceiling from around the corner.
Oh,
and
so it dropped from where we were, right?
Yeah, it dropped from where you were walking. And just in time for you to note this thing as it kind of like comes from around the corner, two more come plopping out of the ceiling. Guess what, Malik? You realize one of these has been biologically altered to be a weapon of mass destruction.
Cool. Thanks.
Here are both your organic and your bionic life form.
Dope. Cool.
It currently blocks your way out to the ship where Tal is.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the disc.
Dope.
So where are the other two? The ones that dropped down?
The other two, they are inside the cargo hold with you and Malik on the opposite side of the vessel.
Okay.
They're coming, basically coming around.
So the way I'm picturing is like there's a cargo hold, there's like an entranceway, and attached to the entranceway there's a hallway, and that's where Tamir. And on the opposite side of Tamir is where the first one is.
Correct. I would say the first one that dropped down is quite a ways away from you, 60, 70 feet. The one that's inside the space with you and Malik is much, the other two are much, much closer.
Is there anything between us and Tamir?
No.
So there's
open
one
space
and there's one behind
run.
And there's one behind Tamir.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Yeah, I see the one behind Tamir and don't even recognize the ones that plop down behind, I don't think, and I run towards Tamir.
Is there a door that connects the hallway to the cargo bay?
There is. It's open. Nothing's closed at the moment. So it's basically like cargo hold, right? Hallway that goes down and kind of curves around back to the stairwell where you have to go downstairs to get off this vessel.
Okay, so there's that way backwards. Okay.
Yeah, so there is one blocking your way back to the ship and two inside of the cargo hold with you.
I would probably, I would notice the two, and I would just yelp out of fear, but not really. And I'm gonna turn around and run towards Malik. And as we're running, do I notice any way to close the doors?
I mean, there are always ways to close the doors. There's a small HUD if you can figure out how to do it. There are lots of ways to close doors, including just blasting them.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, would I have the knowledge to know that if I shoot the control panel of the door, there would be some sort of fail-safe that will close the door?
Yes.
Okay, then my attempt is since Malik is in front of me, I would wait until he crosses over, and then I would cross over, and then I would try to shoot.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go into initiative. We will go into a quick initiative here. So everybody's just going to roll 1d6. That's how initiative works in Coriolis. So the creatures have rolled a 4. I will roll once for them. Nicely done.
Did I even roll?
Yes. We're going to have a roll off between the two of you. Roll another. No. Oh, yeah. Roll another d6. Okay. We're also going to roll off gnome. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Let's see what gnome rolls so I can get this in order.
I got a 4.
And then
Okay.
me and Paul are gonna roll off.
Yeah, you and Paul roll off. Paul roll off.
I rolled a 6.
Roll again.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
gotta roll a 6 because you both rolled 6.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wait. I think I didn't roll 1d6.
You
I just
did, yeah.
Roll 6.
Yeah, roll a
There you
d6.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so first up will be Malik,
Yes.
followed by Polaris, followed by who's next? What did we roll? What did we roll? That would be Tamir, followed by the creatures is what we're gonna call them, since only one of you know what they're actually called, and then our lovely pilot Tao. Okay. So you actually are first up. Or no, I'm sorry, Malik's first up. So Malik, what do you do? And then I will let you do this. Because Malik, you said you were running past him.
Yeah, Malik is running straight towards Tamir, and like I guess like all I can see is like from Tamir's point of view is he comes out of like the cargo thing and just sees Malik running towards him and just pull a gun out and just start firing, seemingly at Tamir as I'm trying to hit the thing behind him.
Okay, that's dangerous. Well, let's go ahead and get your roll.
Tucking and ducking.
Great. I have a +1
Fuck Malik.
for this gun and ranged combat.
Oh, also, just
Failure.
What?
If
gun-
you shoot me, I swear.
You know what?
gun did I give Tamir. by the way?
Tamir
I'm
does
sorry,
have a gun.
Yeah, Tamir has a gun. What were you saying, Paul?
What was the type of gun that he gave him? 'Cause I never
It's
clarified.
a pretty.
Is it just
I'd
like a
have to pull
pistol?
it. Yeah, it's like a bare minimum.
It's the Vulcan cricket.
Okay,
The Vulcan cricket, basically.
Cool.
Yeah, which is why they left it behind.
makes sense.
I am gonna pray to the icons. And as I'm running and I just see all these shots kind of going wide, I like mutter a prayer under my breath, and I'm going to attempt to roll again. So have
Okay.
a darkness point dot.
Okay, I took another darkness. That gives me.
Suck a dick! Critical success! Eat it, you fucking monster!
Critical
As
success.
you're doing this and you're
How
running
much
it,
damage is done
you
with
yell,
this?
suck a dick.
Yeah. So it does 2 damage, not a crit. It does an additional 2 damage, so 4 damage total.
So 4 damage total. All right, this is one of the normal ones, which you hear it like squeal out. Blood splatters and it knocks it backwards as it kind of steps back. It was ready to reach and grab your brother. This bullet slings past your head. You can feel it. Even in the suit, you can tell as it pings into something from behind you.
Paul.
Yeah, as it pings into something from behind you. That's what I'll say for now. That would have been all of your turns unless you want to take a free action.
No. That's it for me. Yeah.
I forgot what.
Polaris, here's what I'm going to do. So for everybody at home, the way combat works in Coriolis is pretty cool. Each turn you get what are known as 3 action points, and those action points can be spent across slow, normal, or fast actions. Fast actions only cost 1. Normal actions cost 2, and slow actions cost 3, which means in a turn, you can spend those 3 points across the actions however you see fit. For my players, there is a chart of these actions inside of Roll20. It's called Combat Actions, okay? And you can see them. So, Paul, for your turn, correct me if I'm wrong, you wanted to run through the, door frame from these creatures and shoot the doors closed.
Actually, how close am I to the door? Like
You're pretty close. You could sprint with a single fast action and make it.
Am I able to just run through it and then use my dagger, my mercury dagger, to try to melt the control panel?
Yeah, sure.
Because then I'd rather minimize the risk of missing.
Yeah, I would consider that a close combat.
Okay.
So basically what you're doing is you're taking your first fast action to run. As you come through, you're taking a close combat attack with your weapon against the thing.
And I wanted to turn on and yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what this dagger looks like so everybody at home understands.
So it's pretty much like a regular dagger, right? It's pretty cool. But bam, when you press a button, it's like the plasma just circles around it and grips it and just turns the blade into a liquid lava. So it's like a stationary lava liquid red burning knife of awesomeness
You click. You click the
I
button.
need you to make this into a slap chop video.
Yeah, I desperately
Now,
want you
Paul.
to do all of my commercials.
Yeah,
Yeah, just sell me everything, Paul. Okay, so first you are still gonna have to make an attack, but this is gonna be very, very easy because you're just like you're not attacking anything that's moving. So I still need you to make a melee attack on this thing.
Melee attack, right? Okay.
Correct.
I'll take it.
All right, perfect. Limited success. Easy peasy. You come through. They are galloping towards you. One of them you can see has all of these cybernetics that's been embedded. It's almost infected around the edge because clearly it's a creature and they treated it as such. The other one comes kind of bounding behind it, and you slam this liquid dagger. It looks like mercury as it burns through all of the circuits in this board, and the doors slam shut. Just as they reach for you. One of them slams into the door. Now you know what slammed into the first door you came through.
Ah, yeah, there it is. Okay. Can I? Yeah, that's all I want to do for my actions. But as a free action, can I just yell like? I guess I don't need to yell, but I'm just gonna be like, "Fucking run!" Like that's all I'm just gonna yell.
Fucking run is what we get. And that puts us on Tamir's turn. Tamir, a bullet has passed you. There is definitely something behind you. You hear it yell out. You see the two creatures that got cut off, and you hear run.
Yeah, I think
You also
Probably-
see Malik is holding a disc and a gun in the other hand.
fucking shooting at me. There's definitely something behind. I feel like Tamir and Malik would have that like eye contact, that just like anime like split screen, and then like it shifts off.
Yeah.
And Tamir is just booking it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to spend your entire turn basically running.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to have you make an agility check because you have to move. You have to mitigate the creature that is laid out on the floor that your brother shot. It hasn't like gotten up yet, but it is in your way.
Okay. Let me get my combat actions out so I can actually see.
I was about to say, yeah, your combat action.
my
So,
roll. Ooh, okay, cool.
perfect. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not very agile.
Yeah, it's kind of slammed up against the wall. It's getting up, and you kind of move as you move past it. The other two of you are not going to be able to move past it, though. It's going to get up far before then.
Right.
But Tamir, you're on the opposite side of it now, as
I-
it growls at you.
As I had like run past Malik, can I grab the disc?
Sure. Yeah, I would say that's an easy free action. You snatch the disc.
He's holding it
up. We've passed the baton to a new runner.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. And you make it to the other side. It is the creature's turn. The two creatures on the interior of the door begin slamming their bodies against the metal. You hear one make a strength check to slam its body against this metal airtight door. Ooh, I can't. I have to type it and roll so many die. They don't even have that quick option.
I don't like what you're saying.
No, okay, he gets a single success. You hear one body.
Oh shit.
Then you hear a second body as it throws itself into it. Another success. They're trying, but neither of them make it through. The door keeps like every time one of their bodies land into it. And the other one gets to go. It takes its turn to stand. It's going to get back on its feet. It looks to Tamir, who's past it, and it looks at the two of you, specifically at Malik, who has put a massive wound in its shoulder with a bullet shot. And it, as it comes bolting at you. The good news is this is not the bionic one, so you get off easy. Was really excited about my bionic pup. But they do have a feral hunger. It's going to take a melee combat attack against you. Beep, 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 beep. This is going to hurt, Mike. I just want you to know that.
No. Stop, don't.
Okay, well, it only got a single success.
Okay, I have armor, so I'm going to roll 3d6 and roll no successes, so I take that 1 damage.
It rakes across, and it's actually probably like your hands or something that doesn't have like your hard armor on it, as it scrapes down and catches and rips flesh off with these claws. It smells foul, and it's an icky critter. It's covered in the blood of all of these people that it's been numbing and gnawing, and its long kind of gangly fingers come to points with these claws. That is, I think, all it can do.
How much damage, Dot?
It does damage 2.
Oh, thank you.
Not crit. It does
That's not too
damage
bad.
2. No, it's not. It hasn't made a throat attack yet, though.
Well, okay.
Wait till it tries to eat your throat out. Okay.
What?
That's one. It pretty much has its turn. It is Tal's turn. Tal, you hear screaming. The droid is capturing all of this and it looks and the droid you see it just catches Tamir as he snatches the disc and begins to run, headed for the vessel.
Tal is in the cockpit. She has the comms on silent so they can't hear her, but she's like up against the monitor, like, run, Tamir, just run.
Run. And in this moment, as you're yelling, run, you realize the door is closed.
Yeah, I get ready to open it as soon as I think that.
No, the door, the broken door is still broken. He had to hold it to let them through.
I will actually start putting on my exosuit to get that door open.
Nice. You're like, suit. Turns about 10 to 20 seconds. So you manage to get it zipped up and probably down to the door. So we'll see how that pans out here in just a second. Malik.
That was the cargo bay, right? Behind us from when we just left? Great. Is there a terminal nearby?
Other than the one that he stabbed?
Great. Dot, take another darkness point. I'm going to activate my icon talent. There's another terminal nearby.
Okay. There is another terminal nearby. This one is outside of the med bay.
Great.
It's just on the exterior of the med bay, and so you two can see like where people had probably convened here. The survivors convened here, made a plan, and tried to get to the vessel and failed.
Okay. I look to Saul, and I just say, cover me. And I'm going to go over to that terminal, and I'm going to attempt to open the cargo bay.
Oh, vent him out?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Make a data general.
Okay. Limited success.
Okay. This is going to be so much fun. You do it.
No, it isn't.
Clickety clack. The ship, you tap in and you see the cargo bay. It says venting cargo bay. Everything in there. People, creatures, ships, vent out. But the creatures damaged the door. Mm-hmm. That was keeping it airtight from sucking all of you out. Mm-hmm. And as it vents that system, the crunched doors suck in the opposite direction, having like weakened the metal. And you can tell that the doors, you can hear them like as the pressure of space and that vacuum is sucking them out. You may be next.
Go.
Okay, cool.
That's the end of my
and I
turn.
got my darkness fight.
I think that's all I can do. Use something and move.
Yeah, Mike, you sure you can't fuck us over anymore?
we got a few minutes left.
Does anything happen to me?
Oh my gosh.
You see all this happen, you're like, oh great, vacuum out. Right. The creatures are gone, there's no more banging on the door, except now the doors seem to be like inching the opposite direction as if they're being sucked out.
I'd like to first use my free action to be very upset and say fuck. And then
okay, that is allowed.
So
2 down, 1 to go.
I'm gonna just
good use of that.
How far am I from the creature?
Not far at all. It's basically the creature is was there. Malik turns and is like quick types some stuff, vents the system, and you. So you're all within 10 feet of each other.
Do I see where Malik shot the creature? Like,
Yeah. Oh, very clearly. It's got a huge hole in his shoulder. It's bleeding.
How attached does that arm look?
Only as attached as you want it to look.
Okay, so I'm gonna run towards it and get as close as I can, and put my Vulcan pistol right point blank on that same wound, or aim that same wound.
Okay.
Basically, try to just cut right through it with a bullet.
Okay. This is going to be a very, very specific kind of shot. It is going to be point blank, which is going to make this more difficult. I just want you to know that. But let's take a look here, because I think it's still going to be, this is not a quick shot.
Yeah, I think it's attack in close combat.
It is attack in close combat. Firing an aimed shot. That's what we're going to consider this one. So it will take your full slow action to do this, but I will give it to you that way. So go ahead and roll up that attack.
Does firing an aim? Oh, okay. So just roll the ranged combat.
The range. We're going to say it's ranged. You're using a ranged weapon. Yeah. How'd you do, sir? Limited success.
Limited
All right.
success.
You've stepped into the space of this creature. You basically point at point blank range and fire. It hits. How much damage does it do?
2.
Okay.
Am I allowed to? Actually, yeah, no, it's fine. We're good. I don't want to give you any more dark.
No, hey, no. You don't want to give me. Please continue.
Actually, you know what? Let's make it interesting.
Okay.
Can I use my judgment talent, which is an auto crit?
Sure.
So that will do 2 additional damage, so 4.
So another 4 on it. Great. I will take another dark. You guys, I have accrued 7 darkness points this episode alone.
Yay.
I will promise all of you right now publicly that I will not cash them in until next session.
Yay.
Okay. If there is a next session. Perfect.
There's like a minute left in this one. So
I'm going to save it for next time. You fire this crit shot off. Not only does it take the arm with it, it blasts a huge chunk of both its head and its neck off. It's spewing blood everywhere, full on Tarantino style. This kind of thick, viscous blood. It's very hot and warm. And it can't like hold it's dying. It's bleeding out at this point as it kind of smashes against one wall and then smashes against another. It is in your way as an obstacle, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to attack you at this point. It is dying. Polaris, that was your turn. Tamir, are you running?
Yes. But the door is.
Yeah, you get there and the door is sealed, or it's doing that like.
Hello.
And you can see
Tal on the other side.
Every time it opens, you see her. She just finished zipping up her suit to come help you.
Tal, we gotta get this door open.
Yeah, working on it.
Can I pull off like a hello?
My cat was very upset about that.
Why aren't you opening the door,
She
pal?
has some serious feels on that. Come on, Grace.
She misses me.
She does. Yeah, she's like, Eris is on stream. Awesome. Okay, so what is the plan?
If I could like pry the panel off.
Okay.
And try to adjust something mechanically to weaken the door so that we could just push it open.
Okay. I will give you all of that in this full turn. How would you like to roll it? Want to do like a technology?
Yeah, I could do.
Okay. Let's roll a tech because it's a proper tech. It's not like you're hacking into something. You're actually trying to change the physical mechanism, the way it functions.
Yeah. All right, let me switch over.
At a limited. So what you managed
a lot of dice too.
Yeah, what you managed to do is turn the hydraulics off. So it's no longer going opening and closing. It stops with the little like cracks. You can see it. So there's no like pressure against it anymore. And with the hydraulics turned off, now it's just a full on strength check and the doors will stay open.
Okay.
Nice.
But somebody else will have to make that check for you. It is the last of this creature's turn. It's pretty much incapable of doing anything. I'm going to let it make an attack, but it's going to be at what's considered a pretty extreme disadvantage. The only person... well, Sewell's close. Sewell, you're going to get the brunt end of this, sir. It only has one arm, technically, not two, so I'm only going to roll half its die. That seems appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it fails. No, it's just like, and it's like, as it's like smashing against the walls of this ship.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's all over you. It's everywhere.
Oh, God.
It's in your raccoon wound.
The creature can't do anything. Tal, it's your turn.
I'm going to take the crowbar that I have near the door, and I'm gonna try to open the doors.
Yeah, I'm gonna
use everything I can.
Okay, I'm gonna let you make this strength, unless you have force. I don't know if you have force. If not, just make a flat strength.
I do have force.
Okay, roll a force, and I'm gonna give you a +1 for using the crowbar as a helping hand. So you basically get an additional die. Just kind of boost you.
Hey, limited success.
Man, you guys rolled all those successes at the very top. I love it. It's so much. Okay, 1. You're like, you're pressing, and it's slowly this eking open. It's moving, but it's not moving very quickly. Malik, there's a dying creature.
Yeah, I'm covered in creature blood, and I got shit to do, and we're about to get vented out of this ship. I'm hauling ass. I'm following Tamir. I assume
Great.
Saul has the sense to do the same, so I'm going to spend all of my actions to catch up with Tamir.
Great. You run to catch up with Tamir. Wonderful. Polaris, it is your turn. You see Malik pass you. He pushes, I'm sure, this creature to the side as it slams into another wall, dying, and he runs past.
I'll probably do the same.
All right.
I'll follow his lead.
I'm going to just have both of you, because you have to dodge this thing. There's blood everywhere. I'm going to have both of you make an agility check here.
Cool.
For
Can
me.
I use Dex or just agility?
You can use Dex. Yeah, if you've got additional dexterity. Great. You guys you're slipping down. There's so much blood everywhere that you're kind of like slipping down the hallway. You guys both fall. I would like you both to roll. This is going to kind of be a weird roll. I'm going to have you both actually. What cards do we have in play right now?
Oh,
Blood.
The blood card.
I'm pretty sure the blood
God.
card's already in play.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you know what? We do have the blood
They're
card.
kind of tripping on it right now.
So as you land, you smack your head on this sticky, wet floor as you're trying to escape. And as you lay there on your side, you can still hear this creature. Your head kind of rings. And as you look, you realize that you're staring into the chapel. Like laying in this hallway, is the chapel. And there, out of the chapel door, lays a hand and an arm of a robe, the possible maybe priestess or priest of this vessel. And in their hand is something. Small, maybe hand-carved stone. But in this chaos and death, something rings out to you from it. It simply calls to you there in their hand. So much care. Enough care that a dying priest did not let it go, even after.
Is it still my turn? Can I make an action? Or?
Yeah, it is your turn. Still, this would be a free action if you wanted to grab it.
I would attempt to grab it.
You grab it.
Impulsively, because I mean.
Yeah, impulsively. You snatch it. You don't know why. There's something comes over you. Maybe it's all the blood. Maybe it's the fact you smacked your head. Maybe it's the fact that none of this has gone according to plan. And you manage to snatch it. You hold it so tight, and you get up. And the both of you kind of literally, I imagine it looks like a giraffe on ice skates as you slide down
Can I try
the
to
hallway.
help Malik up, or like? Would that be
that would definitely be another turn. You're probably basically helping yourselves at this point. Just try to get off of this boat because you're cutting it real close to time.
Yeah.
Tamir, you can see Tal pressing with all of her might.
I'll help with the door. What
Yeah,
else am I
come
gonna
on.
do?
Yeah, I was about to say you can just make a straight strength.
No. 2 dice.
Hey, you got a 50-50? That's pretty good.
Hey!
The heat of the moment, your brother comes like sliding around the corner, blood trailing under his feet. Sewell is not far behind him as they are running for you. And with all the might that you can muster in your body, you press the door open and it stays.
I think I'm
open.
like activating my boots so that I'm like firmly planted in in using that,
Nice.
momentum.
Her eyes meet Tal's on the other side. And she's like, I knew you could do it.
Just help me more. I don't know how long I can do
You got it. Come on.
His face, and I'm guessing all of you kind of run in. Nobody wants to take another turn, and you all hop onto the ship, running behind one another. Your footprints are all that are left of you here, as I'm sure Tal smashes that big red button that slams your doors closed. And there's a moment for all of you to catch your breath. There's silence in space, the void. Have any of you ever been off course? Not on a space station, just floating in the vastness? It rings and it calls out to you. And Soul, in your hand, you squeeze so tightly, the stone almost cuts through your palm as you squeeze this icon or this statue that you pulled from it. Tamir, in your hands is the blue disc with all the answers. What has happened here? And the four of you stare at one another. The system comes on in your suit, Tamir, in your suit, Tal. What did he say, Sally? Sally?
Sally.
Sally. Sally comes over and she says, we have exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds to undock and begin our trajectory backwards, where there is no return.
I immediately go and start.
It's just not even a question. It is a full-on
as I hear
sprint
the
to our
voice.
stations.
I feel like if those two leave, me and Malik are just gonna be like,
Yeah, you guys are it's a hot mess right now. Everybody's a hot mess. So, Tal, you run. I'm going to have you make one pilot check to get you undocked and out of the situation, moving the opposite direction.
As I go, as I start to undock, I say a little prayer to the traveler because
Nice. Okay.
critical success.
Yes, well worth that darkness point I just got. Okay, so very nicely done. I'm sure it looks great. You grab that bar as you swing into the cockpit. You land in your seat like you do this every day. Button to undock. You know it takes exactly 6 seconds. You type everything in. You flip the buttons without looking. You grab hold and undock the ship and begin the backwards thrusters. The ship begins to move away from the Ghazali. Its final flight will be into the heart of the star of this system. And you begin moving backwards. All of you stand there as a crew inside of the cockpit, staring at this ship that is lost, the people that were on it lost, and the original mission assigned by the Consortium, lost. It's time to go back to civilization with information in hand. And we can learn more about that information next week because I'm already over time.
No, we could just keep going.
Yeah,
we only started this earlier.
I'm gonna call out
Right?
tomorrow, so that's fine. We'll just keep.
Yeah,
We're just fine.
We get a doctor's note, you know.
But I got 8 darkness points to mess with next week.
All I'm gonna say is I completely forgot to go over that talisman that the priestess gave me last time. I did say that as soon as Tal was back on the ship, she was gonna check it out, but we never actually did it.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. Well, we can say that you did it, and I can give you some information on it, like if we want to kind of retroactive the information. But
I just imagine
having-
we're all fighting things, and you're just in the cockpit holding it, and,
Yeah.
like twirling it,
Twirling
like,
it.
spinning it like a necklace.
I will tell you, even though I didn't probably say it, having that talisman came into play.
Perfect.
It did. I did take the talisman into consideration in terms of helping you out.
oh wow, that's cool.
Gosh, we needed it.
Okay, so
How's everybody feeling?
I
anxious,
feel like I need a bath.
sweaty.
I'm actually sweaty too.
That was actually very like
Good.
intense, you know what I
So
mean?
for all of you at home, if you're really loving the Coriolis system, what by crew just did and went through is actually an entire module. You can actually play the crew of the Ghazali that has to escape. You wake up and you're moving into the star. I decided that that's not the story that I was wanting to tell, but I wanted to tie it in because it ties so beautifully into the story I do want to tell.
So cool.
So I kind of altered it, and they got to come and find what was left of the crew of this spaceship. So
that's really, really cool. So what you just explored was like the aftermath of
the aftermath of a module that we didn't play
so
through.
Nifty.
Yeah. So, well, now we know that the crew doesn't make it out. Technically, the crew can make it out.
Spoiler.
This crew and my story did not. Yeah, so
Not every crew does.
Not every crew does, and this crew, unfortunately, was not that crew. So,
My crew made it out and left all the survivors. They said,
Yeah.
fuck you, I'm out.
yeah. So technically, the blood card did come into play. I had thought about leaving survivors and decided not to.
Like it. Love it.
I
So
might
that's
pick
how
this
that
up.
happened.
This is really cool.
That was super cool. All right, let's go around. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out with us, chatting, and all those donations, and hitting that bar and making chaos happen for us. Let's go around, do our introductions, and we'll get the hell out of your hair. We'll start with Gnome. Gnome, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi. I'm in space.
I love it.
Great. We'll
We
move right along.
Same.
Moving right along. Go ahead.
You know where to find me. Fine.
Oh my god. With that, I guess, Eris, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Was that seriously it?
Yeah, that's it
That
for
was
Gnome.
it? Hi, I'm Eris Savad. I'm your friendly, not so neighborhood. I'm probably not local to you. I'm a rainbow-haired seamstress. Yes, there's rainbow under this. I normally make cool accessories for tabletop gamers. And yeah, you can find my stuff at erisavad.com. I also do a lot of, I play a lot of games. Tomorrow night, you can find me on Savorix channel playing in Planescape. We are in Sigil. And on Sunday, you can find me on Open for Adventure at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where we are playing in a homebrew 5th edition world.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. With that, we'll jump over to Paul. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hello, my name is Paul. You can find me on Twitter at inwhat123. That's where you can find me. I might have a small project coming out soon. We'll see. Other than that, yeah, I'm Paul.
Yeah, I'm here for it. And last but not least, Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I have 8 DP points. I put them on this little card, and I'm going to put it right here on my
I'm
desk.
gonna burn that card.
Good night,
You're
Dot.
so fun.
That's it from Dot. That's all we get to.
Make
So,
your next character, friend.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm taking a trip down to Atlanta this weekend. I'm going to go to Dot's house, and I'm going to steal that
Just
card so she
rip that
can't,
card out,
she
'cause
can't
she
remember.
That's it. You can't have any of the points.
She will
Oh,
forget
God.
if you do it.
Yeah. Well, give me more credit than that. I wrote it down a second time. There are my
See, you
notes,
just
okay?
fucked yourself. Burn that book.
All right there.
Now
okay.
I know.
I'm Little Red Dot. Thank you guys so much for coming out again to see the second episode of this. I am loving the system. I am loving the lore of this game. I'm completely obsessed. So thank you. I'm Little Red Dot. I am a GM and a digital storyteller all over the interwebs on incredible channels like this one, as well as my own. So you can catch me here, of course, on Thursdays, but you can also catch me in the North by Northwest podcast, where I'm currently GMing D&D 5e in a kind of psychedelic, surrealist art world that I've created where nothing really makes sense. And points don't matter. I also can be found as of next week on Wednesdays, GMing a very different kind of space campaign on my channel, Teens in Space, which is a little bit it's more futuristical and lighthearted, but it should be a lot of fun nonetheless. And of course, every Saturday over on Roll For It's channel in a Vampire the Masquerade campaign that has my heart and soul, as all good vampire campaigns do. So yeah, those are some places you can find me throughout the week, and yeah, that's all I got. I'm excited to keep playing.
Sweet. 2 minor announcements here because I cut Noah off because he deserved it. Go follow Nomadic on Twitter and pester him nonstop for We Never Left. If you like Coriolis, he is starting a Coriolis podcast.
Yep.
The cast is in its final picks, I believe, at this point. So it's a podcast.
Waiting on a couple more to respond.
Yep. So it is a podcast about Coriolis, and we
Space.
never
It's
left.
just about space.
It's about never leaving
just space. Space.
It's actually just 6 hours of him going space. But speaking of podcasts, guys, please on Twitter, go check out Dark Fortunes Pod on Twitter. That is a new podcast that we are producing here. It's a D&D 5e pirate-themed podcast set in Deck of Many Things. The Desk of Many Things would be pretty cool, though. The Deck of Many Things, Humblewood
That's my
world.
actual desk.
I was gonna say, that's my
That's
desk.
what you don't get to see, the Desk of Many Things.
So please go check that out. That is releasing mid-February, and it's going to be super awesome. It is Dark Fortunes Pod on Twitter. And that's it from us, guys. So we will see you all next time. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.